Hello and welcome back to another Star Citizen Addicts Anonymous. And today we have part 2 of the interview with Sandi Gardiner. And based on your feedback from yesterday, it looks like you all love this. And I really do appreciate it. Sandi was such a sport and an amazing person to sit down with. And I'm so happy that she and I have made friends. And I look forward to being able to contact her and talk to her in the future. So let's get on with the interview. No more of me talking. You've heard enough of that yesterday in my State of the Game. So let's get on with part 2, which is going to pick up abruptly where it left off yesterday. You've said that you're not an avid gamer a couple of times, but I know I know of you and I know you, right? From talking to you over the last 18 months. Actually, more than that now. God. When do you have time to play? I know what your schedule's like. When would you have time to play?
I don't really.
Yeah, between flying to all the different offices, doing all of the different events, and being a mother of 2 children.
I don't. No.
Yeah. So, I mean, and, you know, when you look at it, you're a role model right now to many women that aren't in this industry that are looking for different ways to get into it. How does that feel?
I think I don't know how that feels. I work really hard. That's one thing.
Yeah.
I try and work as smart as I can.
And a job you didn't apply for.
That is correct.
The one that you just wound up taking over.
Yes. I mean, actually, Chris came up with that title.
Yeah.
Because I was having he always says I'm quite lazy with doing stuff on my Outlook or whatever, or on the computer. It's not that I'm not tech savvy, but I just when you have somebody like Chris around or any of these boys around, I mean, it's so that's not being very it's kind of taking advantage of them. But so he changed my title to VP of Marketing, and then Orton goes, "Well, that's a nice title." I said, "Yeah, no, it is a nice title." I said, "I'm not quite sure where that came from." I mean, I initially was just kind of helping out, doing everything. I was doing the videos and organizing that and getting my actor friends to help out with stretch goal videos and all sorts of stuff. And then I was on the Kickstarter forums all the time. I learned a lot through that. I've made some friends who I still email, and they email me today, which is very cool. One guy in Canada, 2 in Germany, 1 in the Netherlands. I mean, one of Lady Hawk. There's all sorts of friends that I've made, which is it's very cool. And they were more like people like Lady Hawk. I was more active with them back in the Kickstarter days because it was kind of fun. It was like this chat session on Kickstarter, and it was very exciting, the campaign. Just seeing people show up, and a lot of people were avid Chris fans from the past, and then I did customer service. I mean, there was one Thanksgiving, I thought I was having a nervous breakdown because I said to Ben, just give everybody my personal email. And so I had like 2,500 emails on Thanksgiving Day, and some of them just to say hello, but others we had all these unlinked accounts because the website broke famously. And so I was doing them manually. It was like, oh, what payment method did you use? And what chip did you buy? And we'd have to try and link it through the system. And there was a girl called Cindy back then. It was so much work.
Yeah. Wow, you just made me feel totally bad with all the emails I've sent you over the last few weeks.
No, that's nothing. That's a decaf cappuccino.
Okay.
I get about 200 emails a day.
Okay.
So I'm very different from Chris. Basically, if you see his inbox, he has hundreds of emails, and he keeps them all there, and he answers them all quite quickly. Whereas me, as soon as I get them in, I get about 200 a day. I'll file them all. So basically, in my inbox sits like less than half a dozen emails.
You get back my emails faster than my boss at work does.
Yeah, I'm pretty speedy.
Oh, God. I mean, sometimes within 30 seconds.
Yeah, I pride myself on being speedy because when I was doing customer service, I mean, you had to be speedy because it's just like you wouldn't get through them otherwise. And then I said, I'm dying here. So I trained, Chelsea was the first person I trained in customer service.
And we love Chelsea. You know
Yeah,
that.
Chelsea's very good.
And we love Alexis. We love both of
Yep.
them. They're awesome.
Alexis is very good. Yeah. So I trained, Chelsea. I used to sit next to her, and we would do concierge together. And I'd help her how to answer the email in a certain way. It's quite, customer service is actually really underrated. Like, it's quite a skill to email somebody in the right way. I mean, I would like to say that we do a good job at that, for the most part,
Gotcha.
considering the audience that we have and how many tickets they get. It's not an easy job, and they do quite well. I mean, we have some doozies of tickets when people get angry in that moment. And then come Monday, Fridays they're angry, and come Monday they're all like, "Oh, we love you, we're so sorry," and they send gifts. That's just it. There's only a couple of those, but I mean,
lots of gifts.
We get all sorts of tickets. But yeah, I trained Chelsea, then I hired Allie and trained Allie, and then now Chelsea started training people.
Which is good because like I said, I sat by Alexis and Chelsea that whole day, kind of buzzed after our conversation, and watching them, and those two are amazing. And you did great hires there. They are wonderful. I want to ask you a question. We're going long. We're going a lot longer than I thought we would, and I apologize for that. You're just wonderful to talk to. But I wanted to talk a little bit about the transit. Like one of the things that you did early on is to acknowledge that the community was such a big part of this game, and it was theirs as much as it was, Chris's. And you started a video series first with Eric, and then, amazingly brought it to LA and did even better with Around the Verse. What were your thoughts behind that originally when you thought up the first series, which was kind of taken over in Austin and turned into Wingman's Hangar?
The show actually, I'd have to dig up my original spec for the show that I created. I actually created it with a guy called Michael Abbott, who was helping us in the beginning. And we did it in July of 2012. So it was done well before the campaign started. I can't remember the name of it, but basically it was, in the end, it's an all-fictional show that you watch in a bar in-game.
Oh, wow. And we're getting there. I've seen...
So, yeah. So yeah. Wingman's Hangar, I'd actually written out as a segment of the show. I don't know if I remember if I called it Wingman's Hangar, but it was a hangar part of showing off your hangar, and it kind of like you'd have different characters doing that. So... the Empire Report is kind of a teaser and a tryout of what some of the news segment would be.
Please keep doing that.
Yeah, that we would announce. So the plan is to announce outbreak on Terra, or go help so-and-so on, this planet. And so you would have people watch this show in game and go and explore this planet, or go do this thing, because obviously once the game's launched, things like Around the Verse or Wingman's Hangar is not quite so exciting, right? Because we're not really in development anymore. We're in the game.
Like, you think this game is going to stop development for the next 5 years?
Well, that's true.
Right.
That's true. But it will be a different balance of what's happening in game and what's happening in development.
I like your idea with Empire Report, because it's what I was hoping that you would be doing. And I played around a little bit with things like that when I was contributing to Michael Moreland. I was making all of my news being in fiction, and I'd pick out some of the things from the comlink, like the Lynch Fever breakout, and Sata Ball, and different things, and just do different skits on it to try to bring people's attention to the wonderful work that David and his team were doing with creating that lore. So I like that. The first couple of times that you had that teaser, I was like praying that you would be going in that direction when the game goes live.
Yeah, so we think that the actor that we had who did the who said the Saturday Bowl Sunday and stuff,
Yeah.
he would probably do some of the more serious news. And then we're thinking the character, my character, Becky Russum, whether it's me or another actress, would be like the human element.
Yeah.
There's always something like there's a cat stuck in your,
Yeah.
that kind of part of the news,
Right.
Is your spacesuit killing you? Can you, can you lose weight? Dave Haddock and William Weisbaum.
Will is awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, they're
both are.
very good at. We did that shot that in a day.
Yeah. You did that at the YouTube studios, or
We did do that at the YouTube studios. At our
Okay.
new offices, we'll have our own green screen, which I just can't wait.
you could borrow mine? It's in the basement.
Yeah, it's so that is we'd always written a full show out, which Wingman's Hangar was a segment of, and there was a community section in it, which we just actually. I don't know if you watched Disco Lando's show, but
I did.
We're bringing that back. That was always intended to be within the show. It's just it somehow got lost, and it's amazing.
I think it works separately.
Yeah, it's amazing how every week comes really fast. Like today, what day is it today? Tuesday, yeah. So we exactly. We shot Around the Verse today, and every week I'm just like, it's Around the Verse again. So
I know how you feel. I shoot on the same day that you do, which 5 minutes of this are going into my episode, and I sat there today like, oh my God, kids are home because it snowed outside an inch.
Right.
And now all of a sudden I'm set back. Yeah, I understand. It's a lot of work. And you still have to do your role every day.
Yes.
know?
It's so Around the Verse, Wingman's Hangar. I mean, Wingman's Hangar was, from my standpoint, was a lot more kind of, he's very bubbly and fun, and his personality is just very upbeat. And, it's harder for Ben and I to kind of do a show like that, only because what we have to say is, I don't know, not about being politically correct, but we do have to say certain
we're putting the face
things.
of CIG in the show.
Yeah, we kind of have to. So it is. It kind of is what it is. But that's where fictional stuff like Empire Report or having the community show, it can be. We can put that fun and pizzazz back into it.
Well, I'm very impressed with how far that's come. I was weary when the change was made because Eric has put himself in the center of everybody's thoughts about what the game was, what the company was. And I think since it's moved over, that's actually been reinforced by you reaching out and showing all the other individual people, like bringing the developers in and the writers in and doing Chris's show. It makes it a much more, I like how you've put the company as a center and the game as a center instead of a person. Made a lot of sense.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what the intention was always meant to be. In fact, it was actually meant to be like somebody else kind of just doing that hosting part. Maybe I guess Ben now is technically not the community manager. He's kind of...
he's got a title like...
He's got this,
Senior Director of...
Yeah, I mean, because for me, I'm just like, because I used to do hosting, like in my early 20s. I did like a travel show, and we went scuba diving all around the world, like to St. Lucia and then all sorts of places.
So you did that?
Yeah. I've done a lot of hosting. I've hosted for MTV Asia, so it's kind of, I mean, maybe I just don't have the exuberance anymore. Maybe I'm just like, hosting, it feels kind of, but
I see you lightening up a little bit more. I think in the beginning you probably had a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. I mean, you were doing the marketing of it. You were, putting together the shows. You were getting the merchandising that we were buying together, right? And having to worry about that constant stream of revenue to make that game, be made. So I think that you're doing a much better job now. I see you lighten up. I see you giggle and laugh every now and then. So it's good.
Yeah, I felt like Will today. I dropped so many F-bombs during the during the thing. I was just like, I just couldn't get the words out. I'm like,
Will
yeah.
curses also?
What's that?
You said Will curses also? We're the
Oh,
one.
Will curses. He's
We
the
go
one that
after
curses the
James.
most out of all of
Oh,
us.
we go after James for that.
Yeah, James does a bit of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
I want to ask a couple more, and I know I'm starting to rush you now, but I feel like I'm stealing your time, and I know it's 6 o'clock there, so you either want to go home and see the kids, or you have another meeting waiting for you. It's one of those two, right?
I have a meeting at about 6:30, so I have 12 minutes.
So we have 12 minutes, so let's not talk too long on this next one.
I have
So,
Toast in the background here. He usually stays late with me. I love
yeah,
having Toast as a roommate.
yeah, and nobody goes home there because when I left there at 7:30, everyone was still there that day. So you did the next great Starship
Starship?
contest. You have another contest coming up, right?
Yes. Well, yes.
And now you guys have announced it. You know that, right?
We have, which one? Are we talking about the next Great Citizen?
Yeah, you've announced it. Now, is it going to be have as much for you to do as the last one, or is this one going to be a little bit easier for you to handle?
Well, I'm hoping this one's a little bit easier for me to handle. The issue right now is locking down the mocap schedule.
Okay,
So I'm actually going to be playing one of the characters there, one of the military pilots,
awesome.
which will be fun.
That's good.
Um, yeah, it'd be very cool. So we're locking down the dates of that. So just it's like it's already end of February. So I think we're going to do another Starship into the new year. It's a lot of work to do.
Oh, another next great Starship?
I
Don't
think.
say that.
Oh,
You saw the thread with like 1,000 comments in it that I started, did you? Where people
God.
want this, people want all their different ones that were in there already. Like, why would you do another one if you have all these other great ships?
Well, we are actually going to. Well, I don't know if it's the ships, but we definitely. I'm pretty sure that we're going to use Elwyn's maybe gun.
Elwyn's?
Elwyn's
Okay.
gun.
Okay.
Skyguard Fabrications. I think we're going to start filtering in. I
But
mean, we're
Elwyn
not
works
gonna.
there now, right?
He does.
Yeah, so yeah, of course you're going to use
So,
his gun.
yeah.
It's now
Yeah.
your property.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Now,
Yeah. So well, it's kind of we're getting there.
okay.
I gotta map out this competition if we're gonna do it because I'm gonna be in London. So we got to work out how that works.
Okay. You go all over the place. God, I wish I could do that. So there's also a posting on your site for a job, marketing director. Is that help for you or is that something else? And if you do hire this person, what's your role going to be after that? Like, what do you envision your role being?
Um, well, yes, there's a marketing director role that has been out for quite a while now. And it would take a lot off my plate, and I probably would play a little less of a role at CIG if that's possible. I'm not sure if it is possible.
Don't you leave us.
Um, so, I mean, realistically, the marketing team is, yes, there's customer service and events and community, but really in the marketing department, there's just me.
Right.
So we do need a job post is going to go up for marketing coordinator, and the marketing director one is still there. So it would be a lot of the things that I do. So they would be overseeing, like I oversee events, video, a lot of branding, customer service. Yeah, there's a whole long list
I gotcha.
of what I oversee. So that would be taken on by the marketing director. A lot of the day-to-day stuff. Obviously, I can't be in two places at once. So I actually didn't make it to PAC South. That was my daughter's birthday.
Yeah.
But those kinds of things, I mean, you kind of need somebody to oversee. And I love coming to Gamescom. I'm sure I will be able to make it every year. But if I can't, then you kind of need somebody else too. And, you know, with more coming online, you kind of need more than one person.
I gotcha.
It's
I
a
see
lot.
that. After talking to you, I see that.
Yeah.
And the last question I have, is it true that the outbreak of Lynch fever was caused by you bringing it into the office?
Yeah, I know. Ben didn't tell me. I don't know why he doesn't say these things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I got Ben sick, and then I guess Ben got you sick.
No,
Yeah.
you got me sick.
Oh, I got you sick? All right.
When we were talking in the office.
Oh, no.
It's all right. It's all right.
I thought it was Ben.
Hey, I left there with nothing.
I'll take it.
I left there with nothing but being sick. At least I could say Sandi got me sick.
Oh, no.
That's all right. I got to get you ready for your meeting. You're going to be there in probably about 7 minutes. 7 minutes.
Yeah, it's just right. It's just right next door. Don't worry.
Oh, it is. Because I like doing the impromptu interviews. I think the last couple, they were really done with, like, you were on camera, you're not sitting in front of the computer. I'm sitting over here wondering if everything is going to work, and we kind of were a little bit tight in the beginning, and we loosened up over time. But I've talked to you so many times now, I just wanted to get some things out. I enjoy talking to you, and I enjoy the work that you do. It's when I look at this game and I look at my history playing Chris's games, I have a few people right now like you and Ben and Chris and David to thank up and down, and so many others I don't know, because you were able to bring this back and give me a forum to let my passion out with my show. I really appreciate that.
Sure. Yeah. No, I mean, that's one of the really... I had a job interview today, and I said, we work really hard in this office, but it is incredibly rewarding. And when you go to one of these events, it's just, it's amazing. I mean, it's kind of indescribable, the amount that it touches people's lives, and people make friendships, and people are able to express something that they're passionate about.
Right. I get that feeling every time I go there, that it's that place where these dreams are starting to be made into reality. I love your team. I love the people there. I wish there was a way I could come to California and be part of it. It's just 3,000 miles away from children. Picture yourself, It's tough.
All right. Maybe someday.
Yeah, maybe someday. And with that, I want to let you go, and I'm going to say thank you to everyone that tuned in to view this. And, Sandi and Ben and Chris and David and so many others there have been so hospitable, inviting to appear on my show. I really do thank them all. And I guess with that said, you guys all be safe out there, and I'll talk to you soon.